Hey everybody, it's Friday. Woo woo. I'm so glad that it's Friday. How are you doing? I hope that you're doing great wherever you are in the world. Today we are going to just go over some things that will wrap up the sprinting challenge. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this fun 5-day challenge. I hope that you have learned a lot about your own sprinting style, about how long you really like to sprint. If you did come up with a pattern that you feel like or a schedule that you feel like is working for you better than before this challenge, I would love for you to put it in the comments. Like, oh, I thought I would write better at 20 minutes, but I'm really going to try 10 minutes for a while. If you have done your Friday, day 5 test of your sweet spot sprinting time, I would love to know how it went. And if you feel like this really has helped you, I would just love to see that coming through in the comments for sure. Hey, everybody, happy Friday. So we are going to do a little bit of a wrap up. I'm going to announce 2 fun giveaways, and I'm going to talk a little bit about 2 fun giveaways, and we're going to talk just a little bit about what are some other ways to increase your writing time. Because I know that even though some people during this pandemic what is wrong with I think I've been live too much this week. I'm like, cannot speak. So blah, blah, blah. Let's try that again. During this pandemic year, we're almost to a year now, which is so crazy in terms of lockdowns and stuff, is, some people have gotten extra time, but that time isn't always easily spent writing because we've had a lot more anxiety, a lot more depression, a lot more difficulties in focus. And it's just easier sometimes to not write. For some of us, we have had homeschooling introduced to our lives, or extra responsibilities, or stuck in a house with people that we weren't, we used to have quiet time and now we don't. So there have been some unique challenges over the course of the last year in terms of finding your peaceful and ideal writing time. So for me, that idea of really sitting down and saying to yourself, okay, I'm not in the best mood, or I don't really feel like it, but I can do it for 20 minutes. And now being armed with that idea of 10 minutes is my perfect time gives you also a little bit of extra confidence about this actually really works for me. And so what is great is this mind trick that you can now play with yourself and say, you know what, when we did that word sprint challenge, I found that 20 minutes is amazing, or 10, like Anna says, 10 minutes actually proved to be my sweet spot. So it could be something that okay, you can sit down and write for 10 minutes. Even if you were about to go to bed, you've already got your slippers on or whatever, you can say, okay, 10 minutes, I can do 10 minutes, right? And so it's this new mind trick you can play with yourself with that confidence that you have that, you know what, in 10 minutes, I can actually get 200 words. So I'm going to sit and do it. Laura even says, I've been stuck on 20 minutes like it's a rule, but I'm liking 10. How crazy is that? Love from Germany, Alexandra, hello. I found out the evenings and 15 to 20 minutes work best for me, but it was very interesting to experiment around. I would also love to know if you only wrote in groups like what we did live sprints or in our group, or if you did some of both, some live sprinting as well as some group, or some live group sprinting as well as some on your own in the quiet of your house or whatever. Is it easier to motivate yourself if you know there's a group of people out there doing it? Would it be even more helpful if you had an accountability group that you knew you were meeting up with in a room on Facebook or on a Zoom call? How could you even increase that accountability better? Or are you better off when you have no pressure and you just show up to write when you feel like it? Because everybody's personality is different. Laura says, what I learned this morning is that answering a phone call during the break is a poor plan. Yes, that is so true too. What we do with our breaks is very important. Hey, Kate. Hello. Christy says, yes, I always thought 25 minutes was my sweet spot. It's actually 15, and I can get my writing done in an hour early morning, something I've been struggling with since starting homeschool. Yes, that is so awesome, because it is so true that you can, once you learn those sweet spots, you can find that perfect time and you can make it. And you know what? You might be able to Oh, look at this, Matt. This is awesome. I liked all of the schedules, so I think I'll pick a schedule a day. So that is also a really good thing, because if you feel like you've been stuck, or you might not be the kind of person who works well with set routines. So sometimes we resist those routines. Like, I wish I could be a morning writer, but I really can't just be the kind of person that gets up every day and writes at 8 a.m. I just resist it. I don't show up. I resent it. I don't want to do it. So maybe you could do like Matt's suggestion right there, which is, I liked all the different schedules. So maybe I'll just say, okay, on Monday, I'm going to try this one. On Tuesday, I'm going to try this, and continue to mix it up. And maybe that will keep you motivated. So I love that kind of thinking outside the box. Facebook user, I can't see your name, but my sweet spot was late at night at 20-minute sprints. I got a lot more comments coming on. Well-Loved Notebook says, I prefer no pressure. So that is true. And some people said mostly was writing on my own, and the tracking was great for accountability. Evelyn says, I noticed that I did not like the 10 minutes, but the 15 minutes with 5-minute breaks were extremely productive for me. Whoa, Karen says, I did my best at 5-minute sprints. That is so crazy, because most of us would think if you only have 5 minutes, it's not even worth writing. But then it turns out that you can actually get your maximum number of words if you do these short bursts of sprints. And maybe that is going to be something that will transform your writing life. So Aubrey says 15 to 20 minutes and anytime but the afternoon. Yeah, sometimes those afternoons are really, really hard. So Paula says, I keep track of sprints and the word counts on a fancy sheet I made. It's fun to fill out and makes me want to do the sprints all day. That is so awesome. And speaking of a fancy sheet, which again, I did not pull it up to show you, but there are, I think, 3 different word count trackers, as well as a NaNoWriMo 50,000 plus word count tracker game board in the HB resource library. So if you are not on my mailing list, it is worth being there just to grab those free resources. And I add at least 4 or 5 new resources to that library throughout the year. So it's worth its weight, because these are things that I could easily be selling as well, but I want to give them free to you guys. So I created a new monthly word count tracker for your sprint. So you can pick it out. I really am having trouble talking today. You can print it out every single month, put it in your plotting planner or your A5 binder. It's in letter size, but you can resize it and fill it out, because like Paula just said, you can even create your own in Canva, but sometimes having that tracker, I don't know if you guys know Ronnie Lauren. She's a best-selling author of romance, and she's a friend of mine, and she has a actual like poster on her wall that's a yearly calendar, and that's what she uses it for, is to write out her daily, not each sprint, but she writes out her daily word count, and that keeps her motivated because it's right there by her desks, and she doesn't want to have a empty spot on that yearly planner. So that is a really good idea. And she gets hers from a store called Doodle Love on Etsy, but they have some on Amazon. So I actually have something that I'm going to be using that's a similar thing. So I will link some of that stuff for you in one of my upcoming videos. But all of that stuff is really cool. So Well-Loved Notebook said, I try to write every single day, no matter what. And I've had no 0 days so far. So I also think that it can be helpful to do something like a Don't Break the Chain challenge. So this is something you'll see in different types of productivity, but the idea of don't break the chain comes actually from Jerry Seinfeld, who of course is a famous comedian. And somebody said, like, how do you come up with all these different jokes all the time and you're keeping things fresh? And he famously said something along the lines of, I write a joke a day, and then I just don't break the chain. And so a lot of people have pulled that. And I really, really love that, because it's this idea of, you write 100 words a day, make it something that is achievable for you and easy. If you say, well, my normal is 1,000, but I'm going to write 2,000 words a day and I'm going to challenge myself. Like, I know I heard a lot of people towards the end of 2020 saying that they were going to do the Mill-Wordy challenge, which is writing 1 million words in 2021, which I think is amazing. And if you can do it, I am super, super proud of you. But if you've only ever written like 50,000 words in a year, jumping up to 1 million words might just be more discouraging than it is encouraging. So what I would love to say is, if you can combine these sprint times that you found and know that how much you can really get done in such a short period of time, like Christy said, she can get all of her writing done in an hour in the morning before she even goes to work. So you can fit that into your schedule. And then you combine it with a productivity tool or a game like the Don't Break the Chain. Then you can start getting that habit of positive momentum of crossing that day off the list or writing that number up on the calendar. I did it. I've talked about Ines Johnson a few times before because I just love her so much. I don't think she's watching this challenge, but shout out to Ines. But she has a bullet journal, or I think she's using a different kind of monthly planner right now where she puts a star for every 500 words. And every month at the end of the month, she will take a screenshot and post it to our planning group of her planner with all these stars on it. And it's color coded because each star represents a different book or whatever, but you can see in your progress there, like with your eyes, how much it really adds up. And so taking those kind of things in combination with these sprint times can really help. So I'm going to give you a few other tips for getting more done with your writing time. So one of them is, we talked about this, I think yesterday, to learn to type faster. We might've talked about this on Wednesday, but when you learn to type faster, you'll start to see that average words per minute go up. Now, sometimes our brain still isn't going to work any faster than it does. Like sometimes I can be a fast typist, but I can't come up with the words fast enough, and that's fine too. But you don't want to be limited by how fast your fingers can type. What some people do is they will go through and do a typing course, or you could teach yourself to do sorry, I saw that light buffering or UGG buffering, and I'm like, oh no, I hope everybody can see me. And then I got distracted in my head. So let me know if you guys can see me or if everybody's buffering, hopefully not. But you can also try dictation. So this is something that is being more and more built into programs. I don't know, you can let me know in the comments if Scrivener has a dictation thing attached to it, like inside the program. But I think even, oh good. Oh no, somebody else said me too. So the Google Docs, I think, also has, oh, I'm back. It's been raining today. And I was like, oh no, hopefully it's okay. Okay, we're back. You can try typing faster. So that's kind of what I was saying when a lot of people lost me, is try typing different things that can help you type faster, right, Evelyn? So the zombie game, there's a zombie game called Typing of the Dead. There's, if you just search for free typing courses online, like if you never were like in school or had an opportunity to learn the proper place that your hands go, and you kind of are a hunt and peck kind of person, you will be amazed at how much faster you can start writing when your actual like finding of the letters is no longer a hindrance to your typing speed. But dictation is also cool. Like a lot of people talk about Dragon dictation, which is like kind of the more professional thing, but that does tend to cost a little bit of money. I think it's worth it, a lot of people have said, but you can also try something like Google Docs or Word. Somebody said PC version of Scrivener does not. But, Evelyn says you can do Google Docs with speech to text and then transfer it to Scrivener. So you can kind of use that instead. Gamifying the system is another thing that you can try. So we talked about doing like a Don't Break the Chain. You can do competitions with other people. You can also do something like Taylor just said, For the Words. It's an online writing game that has been such a game changer in increasing my word count. So I know that For the Words, even though I have not had a chance to check it out myself, is like the more challenges and things you do, right? You can get armor for your character, change your avatar's look, all that kind of stuff. So if you're a gamer, that could be something that could really help you get into the habit of doing those sprints, is just that really fun part of you see physical rewards. You actually get to go and change your character out and compete against other people and who knows what else in that game. But another thing that you can try to sort of, I don't know about gamify, it is kind of a gamification or gamification of the writing stuff. But something that I used to do is, my husband calls me sweetie. I've talked about this before in some of my planner setups, because I have a little sweetie that he drew for me years ago inside my planner that kind of stays there. But that's just his nickname for me, is Sweetie. He never calls me Sarah. But he made for me what he called a sweetie store. And the sweetie store was just a simple little like $20 bookcase that we got from Walmart. And he sent me to the like Target, Walmart, Home Goods or whatever. And I spent maybe like $100 on little things like a pack of, like a little figurine or a pack of Post-it notes, a new pack of Sharpie pens, mostly things that were pretty inexpensive. Back then, we also lived in Raleigh and there was a Sanrio Surprises store at the mall, which means there was a Hello Kitty store. And so I spent a lot of money there as well. But really, I started out with not a lot of money to spend because he was working, I was not yet publishing. And so we were really strapped for money. And so I spent and got like little note cards and things at the dollar store and stuff like that, and put them into the sweetie store. And we assigned a value to everything. So if it was something that cost, let's say this is a Villa Beautiful pen. I think these are like $14. So this is a little bit fancier than I could have afforded back when we started this. But this would then, because it's $14, this would cost me 14,000 words to buy from the sweetie store. So if it was a dollar item, then I have to write 1,000 words to buy that item from the store. If it was $20, I had to write 20,000 words to afford it from the store. And that was so much fun because I had to write in a notebook. This is so extra, y'all, but just to be full disclosure, he's a programmer. So he actually made me like a little website where I could input my word count for accountability, but he's a little extra. And yes, he is so supportive, but it's that fun thing of like, I get to input my word count. I got to see, he would transfer the 1,000 words into $1 in the sweetie store. And it would be so fun because every Friday or whatever, I'd get to go and say, okay, how many points? Oh my gosh, I've got 15,000 points or 5,000 points to spend in the store. And then I could go and get stuff. And our idea behind it was, if I was writing that often and really getting those word counts in, then eventually the money would start coming in too, right? So it was okay to spend that little bit of extra money on the sweetie store. And most of the time they were things that were tax deductible for me because they were like pens or, like maybe even Scrivener, a subscription to Scrivener or whatever could be in that store. If you don't have as much money or space to like be buying things, then consider putting like experiences or dinners or things like that on there that you could say, I don't have room to or need for more note cards, but what inspires you? It could be if you get 1,000 words, you get to trade that in for an afternoon at the beach. Or if you get 1,000 words, you get to trade that in for a board game night with your husband or whatever it is. But it's so much fun to have those reward system. And I've talked a few times about positive momentum. And this to me is one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself as you are starting to try to develop a writing habit and get back into the swing of writing, or just increase your writing output, especially if you've started to lose that shine a little bit of the joy of writing. So Rachel says, for Nano, I did the same thing, but I bought a sticker book and each day I hit the word count. My husband tore a sheet out and gave it to me to use in my planner. It was amazing. And I think that is incredible because it's just those little things. It doesn't have to be super expensive. It's just those little things that you can, my son is home from school. Yeah, you can come say hi if you want. This is not the same regular crew.
Hello.
This is my son, Andrew. Laura says, wait, what? We can write off pens. Laura, welcome. Yes, you can write off pens. If you are using them for your work, you can write off pens and planners and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, you can, and your note cards, your Post-it notes, if you're actually using it for your writing, you can write it off. They might think it's excessive if they really go to my itemization, but hello. So yeah, that's my son. He just got home from school. He had a little bit of chocolate on his face. I think they have ice cream on Fridays. But those are fun ways. And that type of like reward system for yourself, it wasn't just for Nano. It was something that we did all the time. And that was such an amazing thing, especially back when I didn't have a lot of supplies. I probably have too many now, but it was so nice for back when I didn't didn't have a lot of supplies, and I was really trying to like build up things that I could use, because every little stack of Post-it notes was so precious to me at the time. And it just felt so much fun to be able to get those rewards. So think about what motivates you, what would make you happy. It could be experiences, it could be an extra treat at dinner, and put those into your sweetie store or your writing store for yourself. Another thing that can help you up your word count is note cards. So I've talked about this before, and I know that those of you that are sitting there like, I'm a pantser, I don't want to hear this, are tuning me out right now, but just stay with me for a second. Obviously, you guys, if you're following my YouTube channel here, you have seen me use note cards in my plotting process, but these become extremely helpful when it comes to writing sprints, because when you get that 20-minute, 10-minute, 15, whatever your sweet spot time is, that you actually get to sit down and write, the last thing you want to do is sit there for the first 10 minutes of your 15-minute sprint thinking, I don't know what I'm supposed to write. What's going to happen in this scene? I'm not sure. And then you spend a lot of that time just kind of meandering through thoughts and not sure of making those decisions. But if you have a note card sitting there that says, Harper shows up at the party and she's wearing this outfit and this other thing happens and she has an argument with Brooke or whatever, then you know what's supposed to happen. What I like to do, and even if you are a pantser and you don't have your book plotted, here's how you can use note cards. When you finish your daily writing session, wherever you left off, take a note card and just quickly jot down what happens next in your mind. Take 5 minutes to just kind of close your eyes and picture the scenes you just wrote like a movie going through your mind, and see your characters kind of playing it out as if they were on screen in your mental, movie. And then take a deep breath and think, what happens next? What do they do next? And then take a note card out and write it down and say, oh, I know what, they can have this argument and then they're going to hear a noise out back and go out to investigate. And that very short little thing is just super, super powerful, because when you sit down to write tomorrow, instead of having to spend a lot of time trying to decide what's going to happen, I'm not sure, those 5 minutes that you spent at the, tacked on to the end of your sprinting session yesterday will help you, because you'll sit down, you'll have this note card and there's no decisions to be made. It's just sit down and go writing. It's so awesome. It's so much fun. And that can really help you. So whether you have those note cards figured out before, like I do, and then of course it all goes astray and you have to redo them, as always, that's my experience, or you're a pantser and you're just thinking forward to what might happen tomorrow, having that little thing will be so helpful for you. Another thing that you can try is rituals. So this is a way of inviting your muse in whenever you have that writing time. And this is a way to make the most of the few times that you have to write. Let's say you are like Christy, trying to get that 1 hour in before work, or let's say you're a mom in the carpool line trying to get that 30 minutes in while you're waiting for your kid to come into the car, or you're, working a full-time job and you just barely have like 10 minutes to write while dinner's cooking. Whatever your situation is, especially if you're strapped for time, think about some rituals that you can develop for yourself. So this is something as simple as, like, if you've watched any of my vlogging hotel night type things, I always bring like crystals or little Hello Kitties or Tokidokis or something with me. And that plays into, I lost my light. That plays into the idea of a ritual for me, because there's just a ritual for me of grabbing my favorite crystals, kind of touching them in my hand, thinking through, being grateful that this is going to be a good writing session, lighting a candle. I've talked about this before, but I will often pick out a scent. Used to be when we're free to roam around the mall and so forth, I would go into like a Yankee Candle and sniff a lot of different scents and think, okay, what is the smell that I want to associate with this next book? And that's a ritual for me. This time I had to order some online, but it's okay. But I will pick a scent and I will say, anytime I light this candle, it's writing time. And my whole office will fill with the smell of that candle. And that will make me, it's like a trigger for me that, okay, it's writing time. I'm cozy. Maybe you're going out to grab a Starbucks, or maybe you're going to sit down with, maybe your ritual is to sit down and journal for a few minutes or draw a tarot card. But think about some very quick little rituals that you can do literally every single time you sit down to write. The first few times it might not seem to make a difference because, okay, so I've got a crystal, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. I'm having a good time. It's going to be a good writing. And then it's like, okay, it's just a normal writing time. But after you've done that for like a month, you'll start to notice that every time you do it, it's like your brain opens up to your creativity and you get infused with more energy because you're training your brain to say, it's writing time. This is fun. I'm going to enjoy this. The muse is going to show up for me. And that way, when you end up in a tight spot where it's like, I literally only have 10 minutes to write, instead of feeling frantic and like it's not worth it, you just sit down and you go, 10 minutes. I've got 10 minutes. Let's do this. And you set your crystal down. And it may seem silly, but like Evelyn said, rituals and habits can trigger your brain's flow. And so it gets you into that mood. Try it. Just try it. Another thing that you can do, and we're going to wrap it up pretty soon because I am going live again at 4 on my other YouTube channel. But another thing you can try is tagging a writing buddy. If you found this week that you wrote better in groups, then try writing with some other people, whether it be a Discord group that you want to join. Sometimes we do sprints. During Nano, we were doing sprints on my Sarra Cannon fan Discord. Angela was in there with me doing some sprints. Sometimes we do sprints in groups with my local Nano group in Discord as well. Or like I've mentioned before, we have this amazing Facebook group, and some of you are watching right now from that Facebook group. It's over 2,400, maybe even 2,500 people by now. And it's an amazing group. And we have some great moderators and admins, and there are live sprints that happen every day, but there's also sprints that go on in the comments and things. And then like tomorrow, we have a double down day where you're going to have live sprints throughout the day. February 19th, 20th, and 21st, we're going to have a virtual writing retreat. We're going on a cruise this month just for fun, but having those partners can help you. And if you get involved in that community or any writing community, you'll start to see the same names and the same faces. So you could reach out to that person and be like, hey, Angela, do you want to come write with me for a little bit? Like, do you want to meet with me every Monday morning at 7 a.m.? Let's do it. And then you've got that, accountability starting to build for yourself. So I have, let's see, that's basically the main ones. The last one that I had before I do announce a couple of giveaways is to continue to eliminate distractions. And another thing that you can experiment with now that you've done the time of day, the breaks, and all these other things is different types of music, different locations in your home or around you, and different places, I guess what I'm saying is like change your environment around. So you've changed the times. Now practice your environment, different headphones, try a candle, try getting into your fuzzy socks, like whatever it is, but try different things. And instead of just being like, oh, okay, I tried that a couple times, be a scientist about it, like we did with this word sprint challenge, and actually take notes. Like, how did it feel to be kind of cozy in my room with a candle on and, a set of headphones? How did I like those? Like, I always used to listen to music with words to it, but ever since NaNoWriMo, I got into using like ambiance videos here on YouTube that'll be like the Harry Potter, Gryffindor common room or Victorian haunted mansion ambiance or like fairy garden. I don't know. For some reason, I just love those videos. And it's like little potions bubbling in the background or little cafe sounds. And I never knew that I would enjoy that. So I think that would be super fun. So, try that. And then try with words, and then try with silence, and take actual notes of what you're going to do. Approach it like an experiment and see if that helps for you. So binaural beats also, Kim says, I've heard lots of people say that as well. So there's lots of fun things. Yes, YouTube has such a great ambiance tracks. A tavern scene. I was listening to a tavern too. And you can really, really tailor the ambiance sounds to the book you're writing, because there's all kinds of things out there. During writing Fate's Surrender, I was working totally on haunted houses and stuff like that, which was really fun. Okay, so before we log off today, there's a few things that I'm going to tell you guys about. So if you are getting the challenge emails, then you've already seen an announcement today, but you'll get the actual code tomorrow. But I know not everybody signed up for the emails. I am giving everybody for participating and for being here a coupon for $10 off any of my HB90 planner downloads. Now, I know that some of you have already downloaded the Q1 planner, so don't worry about that. I will release a new code to all of you who participated in the sprint. Or I guess what I'll say is I'll set up the same code for the very beginning of the Q2 planner going on sale. But if you've wanted to pick up the undated HB90 planner or the 2021 goals planner, I'm giving you guys, everybody here gets a coupon for $10 off. So it is Sprint Boss is the coupon. So just the word sprint with the word boss at the end of it, all one word, Sprint Boss. And you can get that $10 off. Even so, if you want to go grab the Q1 planner, even though we're a little bit 6 weeks into the quarter, that means you can get it literally for $5. So go grab it right now if you've ever wanted to give it a shot and give it a try. This is a printable HB90 planner. So there's three. There's the Q1 planner. There's the goals planner, which is the workbook, the goal setting workbook for the whole year. It has all 4 quarters in it. And there's the undated planner, which is a quarterly planner that has the daily and the weekly planning pages just for a quarter. But the undated you can print over and over again and just go and put your numbers in, your dates in. So that is for everybody, as well as if you joined my mailing list, you can get all of those resources free. So I created that new monthly word count tracker just for you guys. So go grab that. Also, I am going to be giving away one enrollment for HB90 course coming up in March, but I don't want to do it live. So instead, I'm going to have you guys do it in the comments. So if you've left a comment here on the live video, either on Facebook or here on YouTube, you're already entered to win. But if you're watching us on the replay, you have until next Friday. So 1 week from today, which is, somebody get me a date. I forgot to write it down. I don't have it. Whatever. So today is February 5th. So next Friday, you will get, I will pick one winner from Facebook and one winner from YouTube. So it's two total enrollments, one from each location. And that is $199 value there. So thank you so much, Anna Mary, the 12th. So on the 12th by noon, I will announce a winner and I will post it here in the comments of this 5th video. So it will be here in this 5th video on YouTube, one on YouTube and one on Facebook. If you have already signed up for my HB90 course and you have currently, like if you just signed up for the Thriving Author bundle or whatever, I will actually refund that extra $100 for you. So lots of fun stuff happening here, but I just wanted to let you guys know how much I appreciate you, how much just this channel, this is kind of one of the things I wanted to do for hitting 40,000 subscribers, because just the community that has been built here is so very important to me. And you guys change my life all the time. So it just means the world to me that I can be here with you, that I can share this knowledge, that you guys listen to what I have to say, because that means a lot to me. But the next level for you, if you're working on these writing sprints and your productivity, I think that the HB90 system will really help you. And then the other giveaway that I'm going to do live right now, is a $20 Amazon gift card. As long as you are in a country that I can send an Amazon gift card to, like if you can accept a Amazon gift card from the US, which I'm not sure every country can do. But if not, I can send you PayPal potentially. But we're going to do it right now. So get your comments in real quick. If you have not commented recently, just comment a heart or comment a thank you or whatever. We're going to give away a $20 gift card. Just as another bonus that you guys know about is on the writing retreat, every single month, I do give away a $25 Amazon gift card for someone who participates in the writing retreat too. So there's lots of little goodies, lots of ways to give back. I do not have a giveaway relating to my Publish and Thrive course, but I did want to just mention it one more time because we are closing the doors at midnight Eastern time on Sunday night. And this is the largest enrollment we've ever had. And I think it's because people are really understanding that publishing, there is so much information to learn with publishing. But what's so important is not just focusing on how much money can I make, but how can I build a career that lasts? I am sitting here as an indie author with over 750,000 books sold, 11 years, almost 10 and a half years after I first published, whereas a lot of people that I've met along the way are no longer still in this business. So it's really not about publish as fast as you can, take out a lot of money on ads and push yourself to the limit. It's about learning how to not only set up yourself with the right fundamentals, but how to thrive long-term in this career and truly be able to be a full-time writer for the rest of your life. And that is what this course is set up to teach you. So if you would like to join, enrollment is open only till Sunday at midnight Eastern time. We're not going to let anybody in late this time because we have such a big group this time, and I want to be able to serve everybody. That course, once you're in, you have lifetime access to the materials, even if I completely upgrade it and everything else. Dinah says, Publish and Thrive has been so helpful. It's really a great course, and you get a 2-hour live Q&A, Ask Me Anything, every single week of the 5 weeks. And as an alumni, you get to come back and do it again every single time with the Q&A. So it's a lot of personal, get a chance to ask me a lot of questions about your strategy and things like that. So, all right, I am going to give away this $20 Amazon gift card. So I'm just going to take this and kind of scroll and choose. So Julie D. Rivetso, you are the winner of the Amazon gift card. So all you need to do is just email me at Sarah at heartbreathings.com. I'm going to put it into the chat if you can see it. Congratulations. So this is my, where'd it go? This is my email. All you have to do, Julie, is email me and I will send this out to you. Just let me know your Amazon email, but don't put it in the chat here. But congrats. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope that this Word Sprint Challenge has been helpful for you. If you're interested in the March round of the HB90 course, definitely go ahead and put some comments in. Make sure that you're subscribed, put a comment on, if you want, put a comment on Facebook group and on this video. So you get 2 chances to win because I'm going to give away 2, and go use that code SprintBoss at Etsy on any of my things available in my store, and you get $10 off. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you want to continue hanging out with me in 20 minutes, I will be live over at youtube.com/Sarra Cannon with another little coffee chat, even though it's going to be a iced tea chat for me today. So that's it. I hope to see you in Publish and Thrive or in the Facebook group for our Double Down Day tomorrow. There is a link to join the Word Sprints Facebook group if you would like to join us. And I will see you there. All right, you guys, have an awesome day.